Hey, good afternoon. I'm sorry I'm late for 10 minutes, but right now, let me see. We should have a student here to start with the lecture. So, can you hear me clearly? Okay, good. Let me bring up my chat box here. Are you able to see the slide on your screen? Because I'm open up the other the other laptop that I have enjoyed meeting as an audience to make sure what you see is what I display. Sorry, what did you mean by sorry? I mean, can you hear me? Um, Today, I couldn't show my video now, so let me make sure you see the slide correctly. Let's see. Okay. I will briefly review the final paper guideline for the part that I haven't talked about on the guideline, and I believe you have already received the revised final guideline 2 days early this week, right? Okay. Excuse me. Did someone just talk? This my this laptop is not working for the video. Okay, something wrong with my setting. So someone's asking, oh, I probably bring out the function that I shouldn't have. Okay, let me close it down. Okay, let me ask again. Because I didn't see you respond. So everyone see me clearly, right? Can anyone speak up or type your response in the chat box? Let me know. Okay, good. So you can see the slide, but I couldn't join, show my face because the video cannot be detected by Webex right now. Okay. So you guys already received the announcement, and in the announcement I post the revised final paper guideline on the part of the oral presentation, right? Okay, good. So here's some reminder and updates I show on the Moodle, but you may not be noticed. I will quickly just go over with them to you. So, so for people who are working on a group paper, you need everyone in the group must submit your group paper so that I can enter a grade for everyone in the Moodle, okay? And the oral presentation order for those who choose select the choice 3 to orally present WebEx on June 25th. The presentation order will be randomized and announced 1 week before the presentation day in the Moodle, okay? So you will know who go first, but the principle is individual paper, individual paper presentation go first, and group paper presentation go later. And next week, I plan the class activity is you can use for prepare for your final paper writing and presentation. If I can finish all the lecture today, okay. So if I can finish it, the last two manpower policy today, then the WebEx meeting is to join the web-based meeting next week is optional, but I still will be online to answer your question, okay? From 1 to 4. If no one show up, I might end the meeting early, okay? But I will be here in the WebEx at 1:10 and to respond any question you have, okay? But the on the presentation day, everyone must attend the class to listen the oral presentation from your peer, unless you cannot join the WebEx meeting on June 25th. You need to submit the application in the student leave manager system to me before class, so I can approve your leave request. Okay? Is that clear? Anyone can anyone give me a response? Okay, good, thank you. So I will use a timer to help the presenter to be aware of the time. So the first reminder will I will give you is at the time when the presentation time is 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So that means you have 3 seconds left for your presentation. That's for the individual paper presentation. But for the group presentation, it's a 7 minutes and 30 second time point. Then the second reminder is when your time is up. Okay, so hopefully we can compile with the time, and so the meeting will last beyond what I have estimated. Okay. At this point, I checked the sign-up sheet. We have 3 individual and 6 group presentation that give me an estimate time about 80 minutes. Okay, so we probably might go over this time because there's some student haven't indicate their choice. Let me double check how many student have not indicate their presentation format choice. Okay, let me check the spread on the sign-up sheet quickly. Okay, so let me share you this screen here, so you will know you whether you have not indicate your choice or not. Okay, so those highlight in yellow, group 13 and group 14 in individual 8 and okay, so there's still have 3 group of P students have not indicate your choice. Please do so by the end of the class, okay? So I can know how many presentations that we will have on June 25th, okay? Let me switch back to the slide. Not this. Sorry, I need to share my slide. Wait a second. Okay. 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 Any question for the revised final paper guideline on oral presentation part? No? no. Okay. No response means no. Okay. So we'll go ahead. Have only the report must be uploaded for. I'm not sure about your question, but what I meant by submission of the presentation file as well as the final paper, everyone must submit those two files in the Moodle. Is that clear? Oh, yes. No. All members must submit the presentation file and the final paper file. So I that way I can enter a grade for everyone. Okay, if you don't submit the paper for your group paper, then I will not be able to enter a grade. So you need to ask your partner on what grade your paper receive. Okay, that's just for your information that you can see your grade in the Moodle. Okay. So if you have any question, you can post your question in chat box, and I can respond to you during the break for the oral presentation part or the written paper. Okay. So today we will talk about the fifth manpower policy, enforce bans on tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship. As you already learned from the class, the tobacco industry spends tens of billions of dollars worldwide each year on their advertising, promotion, and sponsorship. So you can know with that spending, they earn much more than this venture for their product. So a total ban on direct and indirect advertising, promotion, and sponsorship as provided in the guideline to the Article 13 of the WHO FCDC can substantially reduce tobacco use and protect people, particularly youth, from industry's marketing tactics. So that's the key policy used to for tobacco control and prevention addressed in this policy and the publication associated with it. And to be effective, the comprehensive ban or total ban must be complete and apply to all marketing category. Otherwise, the industry can derive resources to non-regulating marketing channels. As you know, there's more and more new media or channel available. So the industry know this ban, they can circumvent to the policy using the new channel that are not included in the policy. So the industry strongly oppose such comprehensive ban because they are effective in reducing tobacco use. And this publication, the report on the global epidemic for this policy published in 2013 is the fourth in a series of the WHO report. And this report presents the status of the manpower measure with country-specific data update and aggregate through the 2012. So I just mentioned these 2 points, and in addition, the report provides a special focus on the legislation to ban tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship in WHO member states, and analyze how the member state implemented the policy. The industry spent tens of billions of US dollars. This advertising, promotion, and sponsorship normalize tobacco because it seems like any other regular consumer product, which increase its social accessibility and hampers effort to educate people about the hazard of the tobacco use. And I think we have the student from Indonesia. In Indonesia, the advertising, promotion, and sponsorship for tobacco product is not totally banned. So, from my understanding, people can see the tobacco ads and sponsorship in many places. So any Indonesian student can share what you see the tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship in your country to give us an example. Okay, I don't have the, let me see my list. Yeah, I remember we do have a lot of students from Indonesia. Anyone is willing to share what you see tobacco advertisement in your country? Can you see the tobacco television ad? Oh yes, yeah, that's what I, thank you for your input. That's what I learned from the report, that this part of policy on banning tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship is not fully implemented in Indonesia. Oh, okay. Some students also share with us that this also happened in Paraguay. Yeah, but that's very important policy need to be in place, and unfortunately, the tobacco industry in your country might have very influential power in government to prevent the policy like that put into effect. Okay, the tobacco industry markets false impression that tobacco own desirable quality such as energy, glamour, and sex appeal. I show you some tobacco ads in the previous class, and there are ads also strengthen the tobacco industry's influence over media, sporting, and entertainment business because they sponsor those events, and in the event you can see their advertisement everywhere, and also their logo that will make people feel that the product is sponsored the music, sporting, and event. So they will think is a socially acceptable product like any other product. And in country where they only partially ban the right advertising and promotion of tobacco product in traditional media like television or radio. Tobacco company frequently employ indirect marketing tactics to circumvent the restriction. So this kind of tactic includes sport and music event sponsorship. So when you watch a basketball game, baseball game, or car racing and music event, you can see their advertising on the event. Okay. So they also use the pack design and display. You know, the display in the convenience store, the product display just behind the checkout counter. You can see a wall of the cigarette pack. That's a very strong marketing strategy. Every time you check out the stuff you buy in the convenience, you will see that wall, and it serves as a cue for smoker to buy a pack of cigarette. So that's a calculated marketing strategy. They reserve that place to display their product. Okay, and they will also manufacture branded merchandise like T-shirt, baseball cap, or a lighter with their logo, and a line of the clothing with their brand. And the product placement is what you see that character in the television programs and movie. They are smoking, and that's what we call product placement. You can see the main character or any character in the movie or in the show. The brand, the cigarette or tobacco brand they use, then they transmit the product to the viewer is a kind of effective way to advertise their product to viewer. And they also use the tactic that what we call corporate social responsibility activity. Like they will fund a charity event or do some feedback to the society to create a good cooperate image to the public, so people will not think industry is selling daily product. Instead, they think they help the society in some way and get back to the society. Okay, and they also launch new medium technology campaign. So if you when you use the mobile device, if you have ever click on those tobacco ads, you will receive tons of the tobacco ads automatically show in your in your social media. Okay, so the industry quite advanced their advertising strategy using the new emerging media to market and to reach their consumer. So the ban must be comprehensive, because a comprehensive ban on all advertising promotion can reduce tobacco consumption by about 7 to 16%, regardless of the other intervention that address in the other five the other four manpower policy. And comprehensive ban also can significantly reduce the industry's ability to market to young people who have not started using tobacco, and to adult tobacco user who want to quit. The ban on the right advertising and should cover all types of media, include print, poster, broadcast, billboard, and any outdoor advertising such as the place for advertising on transit vehicle and station, as well as the internet. So, look, according to research or survey, a comprehensive ban on all advertising and promotion, in order to be effective, it need to apply to all types of advertising, promotion, and sponsorship, both direct and indirect. And the other intervention need to include the ban on incoming and outgoing cross-border advertising, such as advertising on international television and internet sites, because people can receive the typical ads when they watch television through the satellite, and or when they access to the internet and get advertising from the website that based on outside the country. So the sponsorship of the international sport and cultural event will also be will also disseminate those typical advertising to the people, but this is what we call cross-border advertising. Okay, from one country to the other country, where they ban the domestic television, but people, citizens still can receive the typical ads through the international television program or international sport and music event. And ban should also cover promotional strategies such as price discounts and free product giveaways. Maybe you have experienced in receiving typical product sample in bar or in those events, those sporting and music cultural events, if the government does not ban such promotional strategy. So that would allow the company to distribute free sample to the audience or the participant in those events, and that's one way to advertise their product. And people love to receive free stuff, so it's a very effective marketing strategy. Oh, it's already 2 o'clock. Let's take a 10-minute break, then come back to the lecture after 10 minutes. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's resume the lecture in the second period. So the point of the sale promotion is what you see those tobacco advertising in the convenience store or retail store in gas station, including the price discount and product giveaway. And this kind of point of sale promotion account for more than 75% of the tobacco company marketing expenditure. So that's the major way that tobacco company market their product. So as I just mentioned about this war of tobacco product, this is what we call refer to a power war. And the checkout counter at a gas station, convenience store, grocery store, even in the pharmacy, often feature this kind of prominent arrays of the tobacco product. And this shelf of product are typically located behind the cash register at the point of the purchase when you pay the thing you buy in the store. And that's the location always reserved for the tobacco company to display their product, because the company are willing pay a much higher advertising expenditure than the other consumer product company to have their product displayed here. And this place can draw a lot of attention to their product and to spark impulsive purchase among the smoker. And just like I said, it serves as a cue for the smoker to think, okay, let me have a pack of cigarette when they didn't plan to buy cigarette at all. They just want to get some drink or some other snack. But when they saw this power war, they will think about, okay, let me get a pack of the cigarette for so they don't need to go to the store when they really have the urge to smoke. Okay, and because power wars are so prevalent in the retailer, they may also create an impression, particularly among young people, that tobacco use is both socially accessible and very popular. And research has shown a link between youth exposure to the tobacco product display like that, and an increased likelihood that these young people will start smoking. Okay. So then product display lead to reduction in youth smoking, and also reduce impulse purchase among adult smokers who want to quit. the government need to have such policy to ban tobacco from display behind the counter and out of public view. And research has shown that exposure to the tobacco power increases adolescents' willingness to use e-cigarette in the future. So back to the other, the previous slide. If you can, this is a store, I think, from the US, and they now have all kinds of tobacco product. Here you see the cigarette, and here you see the other product like cigar or a little cigar or the cigarillo, and also the e-cigarette, the all kinds of flavor of the e-cigarette juice. Okay, like including the fruit flavor and candy flavor, and their packaging looks like candy, very colorful, and have the color responding the flavor of the produce the fruit, like if it contains the grape flavor, then the color will be purple, and if it's a cherry flavor, then the packaging would use the cherry's color, the pink or the dark red color, like that. So as I mentioned before, the policy to ban point of the sale, advertising, and promotion, certain countries are beginning to require plain or generic packaging of the tobacco product, and those products with the plain packaging is the packet without color, pictures, or distinctive typeface other than health warning label. So this is the regular cigarette pack with the company's logo and the brand, but the plain packaging will strip off all the logo and the color and shape of the pack into a generic form of packaging. So the consumer of the tobacco product cannot identify these packages associated with particular brand. And this kind of plain packaging strategy can neutralize the value of the individual brand, because the tobacco company use the branding to establish the image and of their product, to communicate with their consumer what their product have some kind of value that they can identify with like the product can convey a message that you are a muscular when you use the Marlboro brand uh, or you use the e-cigarette or new tobacco product means that you are very trendy. You are up to the current most advanced tobacco product like that. Okay. So all forms of the indirect tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship should be banned, including sponsorship of music, culture, and sport. Ban use of the non-tobacco product to promote tobacco brand or company, and as well as endorsement by celebrity. And the measure should also be put in place to severely restrict company in entertainment media such as movie and television shows. And partial ban have little and no effect because the industry simply divert their resources to other type of advertising, promotion, and sponsorship. Like they can use the um, internet ads showing on your mobile phone or when you search browse the internet site, you can receive tons of typical product ads. So indirect tobacco advertising like that should be banned. Tobacco company also invest in the sophisticated branding to promote their product. In many low and middle income countries, more than a third of young people own an object with a cigarette brand logo. Like I mentioned, they have other product put the logo on those consumer product like the basketball cap, T-shirts, like that, or the cup, a glass cup. So prohibiting the use of the tobacco branding on clothing and any other items can counter this kind of powerful technique to market their product. So how do we implement effective bans? Policy makers should announce ban on advertising, promotion, and sponsorship well in advance of implementation of this policy, because this provides sufficient time for media and other business to find a new advertiser and sponsor to replace tobacco company. And comprehensive bans on advertising, promotion, and sponsorship must be periodically updated to take account of innovation in industry tactics and media technology. As you know, the technology change really quickly. Legislation should not include exhaustive list of prohibited activity. So the future development in the new marketing technology and tactic can be included in the ban. Example of the prohibited advertising, promotion, and sponsorship are useful in legislation, provided that it is clear that they are example only and they cover all kinds of marketing strategy, no matter what kind of new medium technology they are. So once the policy bans tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship, the monitoring and enforcement on such policy are the key element to have successful policy in place. Tobacco industry advertising, promotion, and sponsorship activity should be monitored on a regular basis to ensure compliance with ban. If we don't monitor the advertising, sponsorship, and the promotion from the tobacco company, then they will violate the ban from time to time. Okay, even though they might receive fines, but the fine to them just a small fraction of their expenditures. They can tolerate the fine as long as they can put up their advertisement or getting their promotion message out and sponsor the event they want. Okay, so the monitoring this kind of activity is very important, and also the enforcement. So monitoring should cover traditional media and the marketing channel, as well as novel and emerging marketing strategy and new technology and social trend, such as text messaging, chat groups, and underground nightclub advertised through the word of mouth in monitoring and enforcement program. So when you browse the website or look at the YouTube, sometimes you will be fake a serious show video like beautiful young people just smoke in front of in the video without any messaging. So you can see different people showing this smoking in the video, and that will transmit an impression that those cool people smoking. And if you want to identify you with them, you might think, oh, okay, if I smoke, then I can relate to them. So when you see that kind of video that have no message at all, but just a beautiful girl and or young man smoking in the film, that's just a tactic used by the tobacco industry. They purposely put up those video like those you might see in the app called let me see the app like I forgot the name of the app. The TikTok. Oh yes, you will see those. If you click on one, then you will be a lot more similar short video. Okay. And also, you might see a chat room just discuss the tobacco product, the new product, and that's also sponsored by the tobacco industry. They pay people to talk about their product in chat room. Also provide the free sample in nightclub and have people inside the nightclub talk about the cigarette and share the free sample with the customer there. So with that kind of subtle and everywhere advertisement, tobacco advertisement, we need to have a strong legislation. The industries often argue that outright bans on advertising, promotion, and sponsorship are not necessary, and that voluntary codes and self-regulations are sufficient. However, voluntary agreement or code never work because they are unenforceable. They just like the government think they are good citizens. They will obey, comply with the regulation. Actually, they do not. Even there's a comprehensive ban on the tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship. They still do if there's no monitoring or strong enforcement. In addition, voluntary code do not cover tobacco retailers and therefore fail to prevent point of sale advertising or display, the power wars. Some of the most common and insidious form of marketing. So government should act to ban tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship through well-drafted and well-enforced laws. So they need to have a detail of the enforcement in written in the law, and also have the enforcement force to monitor the tobacco company advertising activity. And when they find they violate the ban, then they issue the fine and quickly, and the fine should be as high as the company would stop violate these tobacco bans. Industry is also increasingly aggressive at circumventing prohibition on marketing activity that are designed to reduce tobacco use. So instead of putting their tobacco advertisement program, they even launch anti-tobacco campaign. But you might think that's odd. Why they want to develop and launch such anti-tobacco campaign? The rationale for them to do that is that they know the evidence-based anti-tobacco campaign can really reduce and prevent people using their tobacco product. So they develop their own anti-tobacco program, which is use the emphatic strategy to kind of counter or distract people from those based anti-tobacco ads or campaign provided by the government and health department. For example, the Marlboro, they have their own anti-smoking with very soft message that do not smoke. That result to the young people, but that's a weak message to young people because they will think, okay, I cannot smoke now, but I can smoke if I am adult. So they use this kind of tactic to counter the effective anti-tobacco ads. So the tobacco industry strongly opposes ban on advertising, promotion, and sponsorship because these bans are very effective in reducing tobacco use. The industry also claimed that the ban restrict their right to free speech. That's how the tobacco company in the United States to sue the government using the First Amendment of the Constitution in the United States to get their product have the right to advertise their product because their product is illegal. Excuse me. Because their product is a legal product, they have a right to promote their product. And this kind of claim made by the company can be counter we assert the right and duty of the government to protect the health and right of the citizen. and also highlight the fact that many governments ban or restrict advertising of other legal products such as firearm and medication as part of the consumer protection laws. Okay, so the claim the right for the free speech is not legitimate because government has the obligation to protect the health and the right of their people. I think we have just one more slide for this policy. Okay. The industry also claimed the blame is right to free speech. So the counter this kind of claim also include that we can emphasize the health and economic damage caused by their product, and we can call attention to the evidence that links tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship to increase overall consumption and uptake among youth. So people's right to live free from harm and addiction override the financial interest of the tobacco industry that can counter those claims by industry. They have their right to advertise, promote, and sponsor their product. Okay, sponsor event for their product. Okay. Any question for the policy regarding enforcing bans on tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship? Okay, so we will move to the next policy, raise taxes on tobacco. And this report, WHO report on the global tobacco epidemic was published in 2015. It provides a snapshot of manpower measure with all country specific data updated and aggregate to the 2014. The continued success in global tobacco control is detailed in this WHO report, and it shows that substantial progress has been made since the entry into force of the WHO FCTC 10 years ago. So it's the 10-year anniversary of the FCTC when this report is published. In addition, the report provides a special focus on tobacco taxation and in-depth analysis of tobacco taxes in all WHO member states, which allow for a more detailed understanding of the progress and future challenges in this area. So this policy is based on two articles, Article 6 and Article 15. And in these two articles, FCTC state price and tax measure are an effective and important means of the reducing tobacco consumption. Each party should adopt a tax policy and a price policy on tobacco product so that it can contribute to the health objective aimed at reducing tobacco consumption. And in Article 15, address elimination of all forms of illicit trade in the tobacco product, including smuggling, illicit manufacturing, and counterfeiting. Those are essential component of tobacco control. Increasing the retail price of tobacco products through higher taxes is the single most effective way to decrease consumption and encourage tobacco users to quit. Because when the tobacco price increase, few people will use tobacco because they cannot afford to pay more money to purchase the same amount of tobacco product before the price increase. And people who continue to use tobacco, they will consume less because the tobacco product become more expensive, so they will cut down their consumption. And people who have quit are also less likely to start using tobacco product or smoking again because the price is greater than they use the product before. And the young people are less likely to start using tobacco because it's too expensive to get the tobacco product. Then young people are very sensitive to the price. So this is a very effective way to help a smoker reduce or quit smoking and prevent youth from taking up smoking or using tobacco product. And the tobacco taxes are generally well accepted by the general public and even supported by many tobacco users. And for example, in high-income country, a 10% increase in tobacco price will reduce consumption by about 4%. The tobacco users support that because they most of smokers really want to quit, but they find it difficult to quit due to the addictiveness of the nicotine. So they can support high tobacco tax to help them to not purchase more tobacco product. And the effect of the higher price on reducing consumption is likely to be greater in low and middle income country because the higher price make the tobacco product much less affordable to people in low and middle income country. They don't have enough money to purchase high price tobacco product. Tobacco taxes are particularly effective in preventing or reducing tobacco use among the poor and the youth, excuse me, because they are more affected by the price increase. They are sensitive to price because they don't have money to buy the tobacco with a higher price. Tax increase help the poor to stop using tobacco. This also allows tobacco users who quit to reallocate their money to essential goods, including food, shelter, education, and health care. You may know smoker need or tobacco user need to spend a lot of money on tobacco product, and that will cause them have less money to purchase the necessity stuff for their daily life. And higher taxes also help poor family improve productivity and wage earning capacity by decreasing tobacco-related illness and death. So they can keep healthy when they not smoke anymore due to the price increase. So they are healthy and can work, and they also will not get sick that because the harm of tobacco product use. Okay, it's almost 3 o'clock. Let's take a 10-minute break right here. Then I think we can end this lecture before the 4 o'clock. So we can let you use the remaining time to discuss with your group member on your final paper. And next week, we will have no lecture, but online Q&A session or group discussion, depending on whether you guys want to use this platform to work with your partner on final paper. So next week, the attendance is optional. You can join the online session if you have any question for me, or if you want to use this platform to discuss your paper with your group member. Okay. So let's get back to the online class 10 minutes later. Okay, let's get back to the lecture. I think we have 5 more slides to go. So the rest of the time is up to you to stay online, to ask me questions or discuss with your group member about your final paper writing. Okay. The overall tax structure should be simple and easy for country to implement, and the government should increase taxes on a regular base. The goal of the tobacco taxation is to reduce consumption by making tobacco products progressively less affordable to people, especially for the poor and young people. Government should raise taxes periodically so that the real price increase faster than the combined effects of inflation and the increased consumer purchasing power. So if we don't raise taxes for a while, then the price of the tobacco product become affordable again. So the government should increase tobacco tax once in a while on a regular base. So to keep the tobacco product less affordable all the time. This best accomplished by automatically linking tax increase to economic index. Otherwise, tobacco becomes relatively more affordable over time if the government does not raise tax on a regular base. And the other important element of the taxation policy is if tax increase the price of the more expensive product without significantly increase price of the cheaper tobacco products, then many tobacco users will switch to the less expensive tobacco brand rather than reduce consumption. Because when the price increase, tobacco users will compare the price among the different brands, and especially for those who are sensitive to price, they will choose the cheapest one that they can afford to buying. So we must prevent such product substitution when making the taxation policy. When the tax imposed on a product, the cheaper product need to be getting higher tax to make them as less as affordable than the expensive tobacco product. Therefore, the government should increase taxes on the most commonly small and lowest cost product to prevent such product substitution with less expensive tobacco product. However, tobacco industry always make false claim against the effective tobacco control measure, especially like taxation policy. The most most effective policy. So industry often can say higher tax lead to more smuggling. Contrary to the industry claim, actually increased smuggling does not happen following tax increase, according to the monitoring system and the research finding. Tax evasion is more related to poor governance than it is with the higher level of taxation. So if this country have more tax evasion cases, that means the governance is poor to prevent such cases happen. The tax evasion and smuggling can be reduced through effective government record keeping, improved border security and inspection procedure to avoid the smuggler to get the illegal tobacco product into the border, and banking controls to reduce money laundering due to the smuggling business, and also better communication among finance, customs, and other agencies involved in tax collection and enforcement on those illegal activity like tax evasion and smuggling. Therefore, a streamlined system which is make the taxation policy simple and easy to implement under a single taxation authority would be will be a very successful and effective one to focus on manufacturers with strong tax administration and customs enforcement, and facilitate compliance with the taxation policy on tax evasion and smuggling problems. So just like I mentioned, the financial penalty, the fine for the violation, should be imposed for large-scale tax evasion and smuggling operation. The penalty should be large enough to make the evasion instant and smuggling business to start taking risks doing this kind of illegal activity. And strict law enforcement actually cost only a small fraction of the additional revenue earned from the higher tobacco taxes. So it's still worthy to raise tax on tobacco product because that higher tax received by the government can provide sufficient fund to have enforcement agency to fully carry out their job in on illegal activity, and that only costs a little revenue from the higher taxes. So it's very important to have a very simple and effective tax structure. Basically, there's two main types of tobacco excise taxes. Specific tax levied on a given quantity of the tobacco, such as a tax paid per pack or per carton of the cigarette. And the other one is at the Bavarian taxes. It's based on a percentage of the wholesale or retail price. And the first taxes can provide more predictable revenue and make it harder for the tobacco industry to influence retail prices. And the second type, the other type of the tobacco excise tax at the lower tax can help tobacco price maintain pace with inflation. That is when the inflation goes up, then the tobacco price will automatically go up too. And in some countries, they use a combination of the both type of the tobacco excise taxes. The overall tax structure should be simple and easy for countries to implement such taxation policy. Excess tax should be levied at the manufacturer level rather than at the distributor or retail level. This way can help increase effectiveness by centralizing revenue collection and minimizing record-keeping burden on the small businesses. And what we do about the tobacco taxes increase? The government use the revenue earned from the increased tobacco tax to pay for people's treatment and medication required or caused by the tobacco use. A tax increase directly benefit government through such increased revenue, at least in short or medium terms, even when taking reduced consumption into account. In most countries, tobacco tax revenue are thousands of times higher than tobacco control expenditures. To maximize the health impact of other taxes, some revenues should be earmarked for tobacco control and other public health and social programs. So this revenue earned from the tobacco tax increase can provide funding for government to implement tobacco control and all sorts of public health social programs. In many countries, cigarette prices have not kept up with increase in the price of the other goods and services, and increases consumer purchasing power. So it's very important to increase cigarette tax regularly. If every country can increase its tobacco taxes to reduce smoking among smokers, raise funds for tobacco control policy, and pay for other public health programs. So this why tobacco tax increase is the single most effective tobacco control policy, and also the industry opposed to the most taxation policy on tobacco product. Any questions for today's lecture? I think this is the last slide. Yes. So we have 30 minutes left. If you have any question for today's lectures or final papers, you can type your question here in chat box. And also, I want to remind you that we have an individual assignment on SDGs. The deadline is the same as the one for the final paper. Currently, last time I checked out the submission for the individual assignment, only 5 people have finished it. So please keep this in mind that you also need to write 1 page of reflection paper about the SDG, what your fear or what you learn from your discipline, your department can contribute to the SDG, the part of the SDG is relevant to the tobacco control and the global health. Okay. I can bring up the Moodle that you show you this individual assignment. Hopefully, this is a good time to remind you to finish this assignment on time, because I give you the whole semester to do this reflection paper. It's only one page, and you don't need to have a reference for that assignment. Excuse me, I think, did you feel the earthquake just happened? Anyone feel that? It's still, yeah, no. Earthquake, because I am on the 12th floor, so I can feel that. It's still happening. It became a little bit larger. Oh my God. So, oh, someone did feel the earthquake, but I can see most people don't feel it. Okay, it's winding down. Okay, I guess this probably level 2 grade earthquake. We can see the news later on. Okay. All right. Any question? Before I mute myself, I will bring up the Moodle to show you this one page individual assignment. Okay, there we go. So it accounts for 5% of your final grade. So you will reflect your potential contribution in relation to the SDG that I identify in this course. In the beginning of the course, I share you a slide that what those SDG are relevant to global health and the tobacco control issue. And you only need to write one page for this assignment. You don't need to provide any reference because it's your own refreshing, okay? And please use subheading to identify each major session so I can easily pick up what you think about your contribution to the SDG that are relevant to this course. And formatting guideline is the same, okay? You can use the template just like the one for midterm and final paper. And the deadline is the last day of the course, which is June 25th. Okay, and because it's a refreshing paper, I expect you to receive full credit of this assignment. Okay, so just have a personal thought by looking at those SDG that I list in the beginning of the class. I will also, let me do this way. I will add a file to here and show you those SDG for your convenience. Okay, so you should get 5 points for this assignment as long as you I can see you really put your thought into this assignment. Okay, any other questions? I will keep this WebEx running until 4:20. I will remain online to respond any question you have. Okay, so before I mute myself, I wish you have a nice long weekend. Next Monday is Bowl 端午节, Bowl Festival, but please accept the suggestion provided by the CECC. Don't travel and stay home, and especially it's close to the final weeks. You do need to focus on your final exam and final paper for all the course you are taking. Okay, stay safe and healthy, and I will talk to you next week if you have any question come up. All right, thank you. And Dragon Ball, yes, I forgot. Dragon Ball Festival. Yeah, happy Dragon Ball Festival.